All right, guys, we are in Unit 2 and we're in Lesson 3. So we're talking about other environmental elements. So we've talked about soil, we've talked about water, and we've talked about air. There are other things that are going to affect the environment. One of the big ones is plants, animals, and insects. So first it talks about insects. We talked about pesticides a lot, how they're bad. However, they can be good because some insects are bad. So it says some insects spread disease, making them a problem for both plants and animals. Some make it super hard to grow crops. So Agriscience is concerned in making sure there are enough helpful insects such as bees and pollinators while controlling those that would devastate crops, like the boll weevil. Boll weevil is an insect that completely took out the cotton crop in Louisiana and Texas and Arkansas back in the 60s, 70s. So that's an example of a really deadly insect that's really impactful and harmful. So it's all about a balance of these elements. So like I said, chemicals are positives and negatives. It's really knowing when to use them and not overusing them and not having accidents and spilling them. So plants have a lot of benefits. They clean the air and produce oxygen. However, some are invasive. If you've ever weeded a garden, you know not all plants are helpful. So there needs to be some control, some check and balances on all sides. Same thing with wildlife. Animals are a great part of the environment. However, there are some times where they can be not helpful. So there's a variety of ways in which organisms interact with each other. And you need to know the 5 basic relationships. And it gives you some examples. So parasitism. So that's a parasite. So like think of your dog. Whenever they itch all the time, they have fleas and ticks. Flea and ticks are a parasite. So flea and ticks are the only ones benefiting from that relationship. Then you have mutualism, and that's when they both benefit. So it says certain birds eat ticks off the wild animals. These animals will not attack the birds because they're getting free tick removal. There's birds that clean crocodiles' teeth. So the crocodile gets his teeth clean, the bird is going to get food. So that's a mutualistic relationship. You've got predation. That's when an animal eats one another. Sharks are a great example of that. Commensalism. So vultures pick the carcass of a deer after a mountain lion has had its fill, but the relationship does not matter much to the mountain lion. He would have killed the deer anyways. So it's like they're okay just being around each other. It's fine, but they're benefiting. Competition. And it's for some reason a species has an advantage, its population increases, the others declines. So both of them are harmed in a competition. So make sure you know those. Understanding them helps people monitor the environment. So animals play an essential part in the environment healthy, although their needs often directly conflict with humans' needs. So society increasingly encroaches on animal habits, more interactions are common. So it's important that we understand them. And then it gives some examples of that, of living with our environment, because as we grow, that's one thing we're going to have to take care of and maintain is the wildlife, because we are encroaching on their environment, so we need to respect them. So after this, you've got a discussion to answer. So remember to answer in complete sentences. Use your grammar. Check it. I don't want 1 or 2 word answers. So climate change and global warming are hot topics. What do you know about them? And we've already talked about them, so you should know something. How are they related to the ozone layer and greenhouse effect, which we talked about? How do experts believe pollution affects these problems? Do you believe global warming is a real problem? Why or why not? And don't just say, because my dad says. Why do you believe it? Okay, so you'll complete that. And that should be the last